Hi there and welcome to Influence, a program about the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. I'm your host, Jessica Graves, Director of Academic Advising for the College of Ag and Life Sciences. Today with us we have a couple of special guests from the Department of Poultry Science. I'm going to go ahead and get them to introduce themselves. Oscar, tell me who you are, where you're from. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Awesome. My name is Oscar Martinez. I am from Jones County, Mississippi, specifically Laurel, big poultry industry down there, a lot of chicken houses. Sanderson Farms is based out of there as well, big poultry industry as well. I am a poultry science major. I am currently a junior. Hope to graduate this year. We'll see though. And I am a Hispanic person in the poultry industry. My love of poultry started in FFA actually, in high school. I joined FFA and I started with their leadership, and then there was this opportunity came along to poultry judging. So I joined that, and that's what sparked the initial interest of poultry science.
Nice. Okay, I'm going to jump back to some of your past experiences. Jordan, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us where you're from. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, yeah, my name's Jordan Milliken. I'm from Coleman, Alabama. I'm technically a senior. I'm a poultry science with a major with a pre-vet concentration. Okay. So the ultimate goal is to go to vet school, but I transferred to state last year as a junior, and I kind of was on the fence about where to go to or where to transfer to, and I had a former student that was actually a poultry science major say, hey, just like go check out the poultry department, like I think you'll like it. And so I came here and it was just like everyone was one big family, and I fell in love with it, and I talked to Jessica Wells and she showed me everything, and best decision I could have ever made.
Awesome. So you both have very different backgrounds. Oscar, you've come from a poultry background and have some experience there. You have some experience poultry judging, which is maybe something you still do here. Have you been on the judging team?
I have not been on the judging team here, but it's definitely an opportunity that I need to seek out.
Yes, certainly something you should do. And Jordan, you're wanting to go to vet school. So tell me a little bit about how your academic career now, like things that you're learning in class, how do you feel like that's really preparing you for vet school at this point?
So I grew up with no farm experience. My family owns a jewelry store, so I grew up in retail and all that stuff. So I worked, as a kid, like I always knew that I was like, I want to be a vet. And so when I graduated high school, I was like, wait, can I actually do that? Am I smart enough? And so I went to work at a local veterinary clinic back in my hometown for around a year and a half or 2 years before I transferred. And I fell in love with it. And at that point, I was animal and dairy science. So then I looked at poultry science at state and fell in love with it. And I wasn't really sure what it would entail and everything that would go into it. But I started working at Dr. Walmsley's nutrition research lab. Yeah. And so there, they showed me how to raise a chicken and run these research trials, but not only showed me how, showed me why, why we do it, and everything that I've learned, in the classes and the lab and everything has prepared me. I have so much knowledge dealing with poultry.
Awesome.
It's crazy.
And so I'm glad that you speak to that point, because that's one of the things that we talk about oftentimes with prospective students is the amount of hands-on opportunities that we have, especially in the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, and I know poultry science specifically. You guys you're a smaller department. There's fewer students in that program compared to some of our others. And so it's really pretty intimate opportunities for you to get that hands-on experience. So Oscar, do you have any of those experiences that you'd like to talk about, maybe an internship or some of those experiential learning opportunities, if you will?
Oh, definitely. Part of the curriculum is actually to go out and get an internship here in the department. And it's great. I learned a lot. I did my internship in processing. I gained a lot of insight in the poultry industry and the importance of being able to steadily supply that food for consumers, which is a big, big deal. Also, I've had the privilege to work with Dr. Walmsley as well. Awesome. And all the poultry students just kind of know each other. You know, we can have a good time. We can study together. We can, just talk before class, help each other out. And that's one thing I love about the poultry department.
So to that end, we talk a lot around Mississippi State's campus about the Bulldog family. And so tell us a little bit more about some of those maybe family experiences. So you've talked about mingling with your colleagues before you go to class, but what about some of those other things, like experiences across campus that have really helped you feel like you are part of that Bulldog family? What does that look like for each of you? Jordan, go ahead.
Okay, I'll go first. So I'm in a sorority, so I joined Pi Phi, and that helped me just meet people around campus, and so I've been able to get involved in philanthropy events and stuff like that. And then I've joined multiple clubs around campus, and those have helped me just meet so many people, and just like everywhere I go on campus, I always see someone I know, and it just is so like, it's just a great feeling just to be like, I know people here, and like it feels like a family. And then in poultry, like I've met some of my closest friends here, and I don't know what I would do without them. So
what about you, Oscar? Want to echo any of that?
Yes, definitely. I moved here with my roommate. We actually went to high school together.
Cool.
So I kind of knew him, and we were already kind of like a family. We knew each other. We weren't nervous about anything.
Yeah.
And then what made me think that I had a family here was actually being able to meet other friends outside the department.
Yeah.
That also go to Mississippi State. So it's not just in the department. The school as a whole is a family. We go tailgating before football games, do all these things. Mississippi State also does a lot of events that we get to go to, like cowbell yell, things of that nature, and it's really fun. We all get just to share our experience together.
That's good, and to be plugged in, to have a community is really valuable experience. Let's switch gears just a little bit and talk about what your future. Earlier in conversation, you alluded to that you wanted to go get a graduate degree and do an MBA. What does that look like, and how are you going to use that in the poultry industry?
Oh, definitely. So I want to get an MBA because I want to be part of the management at a processing plant. I mentioned earlier the importance of getting food out to consumers. I believe that's a big issue, especially by 2060. Population will be 9.1 billion, I believe. So I feel that getting food to consumers is the top priority. Also, it's just very beneficial for everyone. People won't stop eating chicken. At least I hope they don't. So it's an industry that'll stay alive for a long time.
Yes, and to that point, we know that global meat consumption trends are scheduled to increase, right? And poultry is really kind of catching some ground on pork at this point. So you definitely are in a very good environment to learn. So let's talk about maybe how specifically you've used some of the soft skills. So one of the things we talk about oftentimes is communication and just being able to verbalize some of these different soft skills that we use in industry. So what kind of soft skill preparation, time management, I mentioned communication, what are some of those soft skills that you've kind of been prepped for at this point and you feel good about taking it into your professional career?
So working with Walmsley's lab group, there's a lot of coordination that has to go on. We have multiple early mornings, late afternoons, and there's about 15 of us, 20 of us that all have to coordinate together to make sure the work's done by the end of the day. And so coordinating that between all of our classes and everything else, I've definitely had to learn some time management and communication skills, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
What about you, Oscar?
I don't know. I enjoy group work, and I find ourselves having a lot of group activities within the department. And in order to have that, you need great communication in order to get everything done. So I enjoy being able to communicate with other people, and everyone handles their own part, but we're all working towards one goal. Time management is another one, very important. Things, there's a time and place for everything.
Absolutely.
And time management is one of those skills. It was kind of tough to learn at first. I enjoy staying in bed late sometimes, so that's something I got used to, but it was definitely worth it.
Good. Well, what piece of advice, as a prospective student that may see this show, what piece of advice, Jordan, you were a transfer student, what piece of advice would you give to a prospective transfer student?
I think my like go to is always keep your mind open, because like if you would have asked junior year of high school me like that I would like, are you going to be a poultry science major? I would have been like, no, like that's crazy. But like coming here and learning everything and getting involved, I was like, I couldn't imagine myself anywhere else.
Yeah.
The opportunities it's given me and everything, so I'm just thankful for it.
So what about some of those opportunities? What is maybe a highlight of your career thus far? You've still got some time yet before you graduate, both of you. But maybe, Oscar, tell me about something or maybe a series of experiences that you've had that have been truly impactful and truly meaningful as during your time as a poultry science student.
Well, you know, the poultry department has a poultry science club, and I really enjoy that. Actually, that's where I found my internship.
Awesome.
So they coordinate and get different people from the industry to come speak to us, and then they get to learn about us, we get to learn about them, and that's actually how I got my internship, and that was a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, I learned a lot. I spent some time with them, just learning about the industry and all the processes that happen, and I feel like that was very helpful for my career in the future, because I will have some insight in it already.
Awesome. Well, our time is coming close to an end. For fun, I want to know, what is your favorite place on campus? Where is your favorite place on campus?
I love Chadwick Lake. Just walking around it. It's at night or during the day. Like it's just my like relaxing, like stress-free place.
Awesome.
I like the drill field. I've had a lot of classes on the drill field, and sometimes I get it out early, and I'll just walk around it like 2 or 3 times in order to make time, and it's just very, I don't know, relaxing, and before I go to class.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day. This has been so informative and exciting to meet with you both. I'm happy for you. I'm excited to see what your future holds. I hope you get into vet school. I hope you have an MBA coming your way pretty soon. If we can help in any way, let us know. But thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.